What is going on, everybody? My name is Keenan, and welcome back to another episode of Hornets Recaps. And on today's episode, we'll be discussing the Charlotte Hornets' victory over the Brooklyn Nets, 117-86. And without further ado, let's go over the box score and stats throughout this game. Alright, so taking a look at some notables for the Charlotte Hornets, you have Miles Bridges with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, to go along with 4 steals. Moussa Diabate with 10 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 for 6 from the field, and went 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Kobe White with 16 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 for 12 from the field, and 1 for 2 from 3. For the Brooklyn Nets, you have Josh Minott with 14 points. They're going along with 2 rebounds, went 5 for 12 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3. Chaney Johnson with 11 points, 4 rebounds, went 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. And you have Nolan Traore with 10 points, 4 for 8 from the field to go along with 5 rebounds and 4 assists in this game. The team stats for both teams, you have the Charlotte Hornets shooting at 47.1%, to the Brooklyn Nets 38.4%, the 3-point percentage 30.8%, to the Brooklyn Nets 20%. The free throw percentage was a 92% for Charlotte. Brooklyn Nets with 85.2. The total rebounds 47-30. The Hornets were in that category with 13 offensive rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds for Brooklyn. Defensive rebounds 34-25. The assists 28-14. Charlotte 5-4. Brooklyn, with the steals being 7 apiece. Turnovers 14 for Brooklyn, 11 for Charlotte. The points off turnovers 18-9. Charlotte winning that category. The fast break points 12-7. Charlotte winning that one. The points in the paint 52-40. Charlotte. Points per possession 1.19 to Brooklyn Nets 0.90. The personal fouls 22-19. The largest lead of the game was for Brooklyn was only 1 point to the Charlotte Hornets 35. My Hornets player of the game belongs to Brandon Miller with 25 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 7 for 13 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. For Brandon Miller, he got off to a great start in this game, shooting 5 for 5 from the field, having at least 16 points in the first half and or first quarter. So Brandon Miller got off to a hot start right away, making it a early lead for the Charlotte Hornets. So Brandon Miller putting up the numbers pretty quickly in this game and was able to cool off in the second half, but was able to put some pretty efficient numbers, going for 7 for 13 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and Brandon Miller getting it done, especially on the offensive end. So Brandon Miller is your Hornets player of the game. So what are my thoughts during this game that took place last night in Brooklyn? Everyone played great. Everyone played well in a much-needed victory after losing 2 straight at home against Philadelphia and Boston, 2 tough teams in the Eastern Conference, and with this Brooklyn Nets team being pretty much dead last in the standings with Indiana with 18 wins on the season. And with Brandon Miller again putting up some phenomenal numbers in the first quarter, getting off to a hot start. Miles Bridges putting up some great numbers as well, and it was a much-needed win. It was a much-needed response by this team, and it was overall a great overall victory on getting to the win total to 40 wins. One player that did not look great at all in this game was rookie Kon Knueppel. He only had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and went 4 for 12 from the field, and did not make a single 3-point shot, going 0 for 3. And that ends the streak at 35, making it a rookie record of hitting at least one 3-point shot in a game. So Kon Knueppel streak has come to an end with no 3-pointers made, and Kon Knueppel continues to struggle in the last 3 games now, which is the 76ers the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. With Kon Knueppel, he only needs 4 3-pointers for passing Kemba Walker's franchise record of 260. So with the 3-point numbers right now with Kon Knueppel, he's currently at 257, and there's no doubt in my mind he'll most likely get to those numbers before the season ends. So Kon Knueppel definitely doing some great things other than shooting the 3-point shot, grabbing some rebounds, which is 7 in this game, and Kon Knueppel is definitely in a slump. And good thing for Miles Bridges, who is taking a back seat, as he says in multiple interviews and press conferences, having 19 points in this game. So other players are contributing in this Charlotte Hornets win against Brooklyn. So that is great to see. One player I did not mention in this game or in this recap, however, was LaMelo Ball with 14 points to go along with 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Went 4 for 12 from the field and 3 for 10 from the 3-point line. With LaMelo Ball, he struggled in this game but was able to, however, do some other great things, grabbing rebounds and dishing it out for assists. And with Kobe White, definitely got off to a rough start as well, but was able to get it going in the third and fourth quarters. So Kobe White getting the nod over LaMelo in the Brooklyn Nets win. And with LaMelo Ball still playing up some great numbers in the rebounds and the assist category. And back to Kon Knueppel real fast. Will he break the record? I say yes. There's no doubt in my mind that he'll have time to break that record for the franchise 3-point record, being 260, being held by Kemba Walker. And it could happen at Nets game. It could happen the Nets game after. We shall see. Speaking of records, let's take a look at the starting 5 record, being 25-8 on the year with LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Kon Knueppel, Miles Bridges, and Moussa Diabate all in the starting lineup together. 28-8 is the record as it stands at this time. So great overall record so far, and let's see if they can keep it going. We are down to 6 games left in the regular season. The Charlotte Hornets and the Eastern Conference standings. So let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings right now as of this recording. So the Charlotte Hornets are 40-36, being tied with the Miami Heat for the 9th seed. And the Orlando Magic was able to get the win over the Phoenix Suns last night, being 115-111. And again, I'll keep saying this until the regular season is over. I really do think the Charlotte Hornets can get an 8th seed, which is big because it is a home game with the play-in tournament. So with the Miami Heat, which is in the 9th position at this time, and we don't have the season series locked with the Miami Heat. So the Celtics will play against the Miami Heat tonight. And let's see if the Celtics can get it done against the Miami Heat. And with the Orlando Magic getting the win, the Orlando Magic will play Atlanta, and the Atlanta Hawks is currently, let's take a look. The Atlanta Hawks is in 5th right now with 43 wins and 33 losses on this season. And with the Atlanta Magic, that definitely needs to be a loss if you're a Hornets fan. And I don't really see the Atlanta Hawks and the Toronto Raptors slipping all that much. So it's going to come down to rather the 7th, which is the 76ers, the 8th spot, Orlando Magic, and the Miami Heat is in 9th. So that'll do it for another episode of Hornets Recaps. Again, my name is Keenan Costain, and if you like what you see, feel free to give a like, subscribe down below for more. And the next game will be taking place at Spectrum Center against the Phoenix Suns. It will start a 2-game homestand for the team, and we will see what happens against Phoenix. And for tonight, we'll see what happens against the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Magic, who are currently in the play-in positioning and the standings. And for the 76ers, before I forget, they will play the Washington Wizards. So, and until next time, have a good one, folks. See ya. Bye.